I just jogging for about 14 minutes. I'm sweating. Instead of doing my stream like I did last time where I was sitting down talking that I wanted to run, I decided, fuck it, let me run first. So I'm a little out of breath for obvious reasons. And I thought, well, if I'm going to stream, I might as well stream right now. So the reason why I started exercising right now is after I had that chat with you guys yesterday, and I said that, really small actions count. If you don't, how would I say it? Hey, Jim, if you don't watch yourself in the small actions, then things can spiral or it can go upwards. So for instance, right now, I just finished running. I'm not doing this to show off or anything. You guys know I struggle with working out. And people will probably find it surprising. They'd be like, what the hell, Erica? Like, look how skinny you are. You're so skinny. But I want you guys to know that when it comes down to, let's say, body image or body fitness, just because you're skinny like I am, I'm like 5'4" and I'm like 123 pounds, 123 pounds. That doesn't mean that I have the ideal body, because I'm not fit and I don't work out. And I know the way it comes off as a very defeatist attitude, but I'm saying because sometimes people think just because you're skinny it gives you a free pass. That's not the case at all. I've shared with you guys, right? I've been in relationships where one of the big things is that the guys that I was dating, they would basically lust after other women, and it made me so insecure because I always thought to myself, like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough that the guy that I'm with looks at other women, and it made me so insecure. It really fucked me in the head. And so I don't want you guys thinking, right, if you guys have like a weight issue, like skinny girls get it easy, because just dieting, and I don't starve myself, right? Just dieting or just like living your life and you're just walking around. Again, I just ran, okay? So don't think like, oh, Erica's just walking and that's it. She's gonna get super toned by just walking. Like, no. I used to walk a lot and my body didn't change. I used to walk, I think something like 2 miles a day, 5 days a week, and my body didn't really change that much. So yeah, it's not just walking, right? Because my leg looks about the same. So I share these kind of things with you guys because I don't want people thinking, yeah, if they have body insecurity issues, then it's because of their weight. No. Again, skinny chicks get that same kind of thing. And it sucks. It sucks. So yesterday I did a stream, I did 2 community posts, and I just kind of shared some thoughts in my head. And I thought to myself, you know what? I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired about having this kind of shit in my life. And I think that, physical fitness is one of those top things. And just because you're skinny doesn't give you a free pass, because someone can say, like, look at this chick. She's so skinny, but she's so flabby. Oh, she's so disgusting. She's gross. She has cellulite. Oh my gosh, that kind of stuff. And it makes me sad because while I was running, I noticed women running around and they're carrying more weight than me, right? And it's funny, and I don't want to trigger people, but I've always heard things like, oh, as long as you like go down the journey, like, that's enough. I have to be honest here. I actually feel for a lot of women that I see working out, because if they're single and they want to improve their life, I guarantee you a lot of guys would just dismiss them. If they have this kind of thinking where they're like, oh, she's not perfect enough, she's not hot enough. And it's hard to say, like, if a person has 20 pounds over me that she's working out, if she looks like she doesn't work out. You see where I'm getting at? And I really feel for those women. So seeing them improve themselves, and based on, like I said, I don't make these statements pulling it out of thin air or anything like that. I say this because I actually talked to a number of guys throughout my life, and I have an idea about what kind of women guys find attractive. And it's like, it's the perfect ready-made women a lot of the times. Um, and it's not the women who are carrying extra weight. It's the women who, it's like they already have the great body and they're already doing maintenance. So when I see these women running, I feel sad because I think to myself, okay, I'm fortunate that I'm actually 120 pounds. I'm like a size 2/4, and I'm closer to that. But my heart really goes out to women who are packing extra weight, trying to get into the dating scene, finding themselves single. And while they're working themselves out, people can look at them and say, I don't want to date a chick like that. She's too freaking fat. She's not good enough for me. And I just say this because while I see these women working out, I can see their body and it doesn't look like someone on, Women's Fitness magazine. It doesn't look like someone who's in a Victoria's Secret ad. It doesn't look like someone who goes to the gym. These women are work in progresses, and there's nothing wrong with work in progresses at all. I'm a work in progress, but it just really saddens me when I see this kind of stuff, and I just think, man, that's really freaking tough. So, but going back to those women, I have a lot of admiration and respect for them because those women are trying to improve their body, and with persistence and with dieting, I think they can get to their goals. But if they're trying to enter the dating scene, trying to date a guy, and then they take a picture, the guy could be like, I don't want to date this tubby woman because she's not, like I said, she's not good enough for me. So again, I know what I'm saying is very triggering, but I say these things because of what I know, what I pick up. And I'm not saying all guys are like that, but I think men are very visual creatures. And I share this kind of experience because I just don't want a woman out there thinking that a chick who is a size 2/4 has a free pass in life. She doesn't. I have to work on myself as well because I remember, I got a comment, and the comment says something like, Erica, when you turn sideways, it's like you disappear because there's nothing there. And you guys can see it, depending on how you view it, that could be true, right? Because I don't have juicy, thick thighs, and I don't have a big ass and things like that. And this is what I'm working with. And I fully accept that. Some people would keep these comments to themselves. I don't keep these comments to myself because I'm not embarrassed by them, Like, I'm not embarrassed to them to the point where I just want to hide it away. These are genuine comments that I hear from people. And it makes me sad. It makes me sad because it just kind of like hits under my skin. But the thing is that what do I do about it, right? And I can either continue going through life like I did from 0 to 33 and not do shit about it, or I can make a stream talking about like, hey, this is the stuff that I'm trying to work through, and I have a lot of insecurity and I'm not confident about my body. And it might sound crazy to some people, but the standards for women don't change just because you're skinny, you see. So don't think that I went through my dating life feeling like, oh, I look so great and I don't have to work on myself, because I've heard a lot of comments about my body, and it really hurt me. But that's just because, everybody wants the fit person, the fit person who looks like she goes to college and she runs and she does yoga and she has a tight, lean body and things like that, or she has these juicy, thick thighs. And yeah, so I'm not doing this stream not doing anything. I'm actually working out. I'm walking. I could have sat on my ass and not do anything, but while I'm moving forward, I figure that I might as well just document my thoughts because it's something, right? So just something to think about. And again, I don't make this stream to tear down other women. I actually feel for women who are improving themselves. I think that it can be a very rough environment for women. And this is just, my thoughts about the matter. I'm going to continue working out and probably document more of these things. And I know there might be some fuckface out there who's like, oh, Erica, you've been doing these streams. How come you don't look like so? You know what? I want to put the work in. I want to put the work in. And I cannot stand the thought, like, people have people can have things against me if I don't work out. They can say your body looks like crap, Erica, because you don't work out. But if I work out, I put the work in, and people still say, your body looks like crap, Erica, I could go back and say, what the do you want me to do about it, right? Like, what do you want me to do about it when I'm putting the time in, I'm putting the work in, and yeah, I'm not going to have a 2-week transformation. I'm not going to have a, 2-day banging body look like I'm on Instagram or something like that. That shit takes time. And yeah, but I'm just sick and tired of being sick and tired and, getting comments where I just feel like this like unattractive woman, and it all comes down to my body, or my lack of fitness. And yeah, I don't want to go through life thinking that I went through my age 33 to 36 and I didn't work on my flaws. But yeah, I know there's going to be some fuckface out there who's going to hear, to look back at this, or maybe they don't even see this stream, and maybe like a couple months down the line, they're going to say, wow, Erica has a terrible body. Why doesn't she look like, one of those like rap girls or something like that? It's just like, fuck you, seriously. But yeah, that's all. I just needed to get that off my chest, and it's just like pretty depressing when I see women around. I gotta watch what I'm saying right now because I'm around some women, but it's just like pretty depressing to see this kind of stuff. And again, it's a combination of diet and exercise, and if you don't have both, it can be if you don't have both, like, you don't hit your goals. So I'm actually better with diet than I am with exercise, right? So it's like I just need to focus and take the small step, little by little by little, because I really don't think diet is my problem. I really think maybe I'm not eating enough calories, but I think when it comes down to it, it's the actually working out part that is screwing me up. But I remember when I was like the fittest in my whole freaking life, okay? And this was like a long time ago, right? But I remember I was like the fittest in my life, and I didn't have like a super, like, I had a toned body, but it wasn't radically different than this, It was like a lean body. And yeah, so that kind of just makes me think like I'm just kind of destined to be kind of stick-like, unless I guess maybe I pack on some weight. See that? So these are my calves. And no, I'm not body checking myself. I'm just showing you guys, like, this is considered to be, what I'm working with. And it's not, like I said, I'm glad that I don't have extra weight, because if I want to tone up, or if I want to lean up or whatnot, it's not going to be that bad for me, right? Because I don't have to burn through 20, 30 pounds. But yeah, it is a harsh world out there for women. It can be very aesthetic. I've had multiple conversations with guys in my life, and they'll send me pictures of women, and they'll tell me like these women aren't hot enough for them. And I'm like, what are you talking about? These women are gorgeous. What's wrong with them? And they'll just be like, oh, she's not up to my standard. I want better. I want a hotter woman. I want a woman who's, this and this. And I'm like, if I was a guy, I would have no problem dating those kind of women at all. But yeah, it's just like, it's a very like small standard of what is acceptable and what is not. And I understand that people try to gravitate towards like the 8s or the 10s, and that's it, and say, fuck, I don't want to deal with the 5. I don't want to deal with the 6. I don't want to deal with the 4 because that's beneath me, but that's why, right? When I talk about this stuff, I also share that I know some guys who are just like, they can't get a girlfriend, and part of the reason why they can't get a girlfriend is because their standards are too freaking high. You see? So there are women out there, like around this park, who are working on themselves, and they would just instantly get dismissed because they're not at that picture perfect body, and obviously they're a work in progress. And while I admire them and I respect them for putting the work in, it's not noticeable. If you have like 20-30 pounds, people can instantly dismiss it as like, oh, this woman doesn't take care of herself. And yeah, at the end of the day, guys want a woman who is hot and attractive and fit. Yeah, people can tell me all this stuff about, oh yeah, well, I don't care about how a woman looks. And I'm like, that's bullshit. Everybody cares about how a woman looks to a certain degree. Yeah, some people don't care as much as others, but they care. So yeah. No, I mean, like, my body, I can definitely work on it, right? So, I mean, like, I acknowledge where I'm at right now. I can be very frank and open about it. I don't have a toned body. I have a body that's like skinny fat. See that? But it's not, like I said, I'm happy and I'm thankful that at least I don't have extra weight on me. And I don't say that to put other women down. I just state that it's easier for me to hit certain things because I have less weight on me. And yeah, that's why I say, like, the small actions, right? You gotta watch out for that, because if you're overweight, or if you have a weight issue, you gotta, like, ask yourself, what the hell are you putting in your mouth every day? What are you doing? Are you sitting down in front of the couch eating Cheetos and bonbons? Or are you trying to, like, get out and walk around? Right? I could have done this stream sitting down again, but I thought, well, let me just burn the extra calorie or two. I don't know how many calories I burn, but I'm burning something by putting one foot in front of the other versus sitting in front of a microphone. So yeah, I'm trying, you guys. And there's no results from the trying right now. And I don't know how well my results will be if I keep this thing up. I'm not being pessimistic. I'm just being realistic here, because yeah, I don't know how much my body will change by doing a little jog and walking around, because I see old women walking around the parks and they're not in super good shape. They're skinny, their body's kind of like me, but they're not like, banging body kind of thing. So Competent Man says 6 or 7s are easier to deal with. 8 you should pay because everyone falls on the over. You know what I found out? And this is just my thoughts. In 8, 9, or 10, those women, they know their value, and they know, right? They're very aware about the effect that they have on men. And I say this as a person who has known 8s or 9s or 10s. Now, it can go both ways. You can have a woman who is very attractive, who is very humble, very nice. I've met a few of those women. But there are, I don't want to say majority of women, but there's a sizable amount of women who are 8s, 9s, and 10s, and they're like, I'm damn hot, You better pay attention to me, because I know I'm outside of your league. I know that you will treat me a certain way because I'm hot. You see? So those women, like, they're so invested into their look because it's a psychological mind game. I say that a lot of those women, I don't want to say a lot, I'll say some, okay? Some of those women are very manipulative, and they hide behind their nice clothes, and they hide behind their nice bodies, and at the end of the day, they're like, I have more value than the 5, 6, 7s, because I'm a hot woman, and I'm better than all you mediocre women, because guys pay attention to me. I've met a few women like that. Oh my gosh, it's just like, it breaks my heart, because it's like I see guys go to them, right? Like freaking moth to the flame kind of thing, and then they get chewed out in these relationships, but the guy's like, oh, but she's hot, and it's like, I'm like, oh, can't you just like get away from freaking crazy, or is your freaking is your small head just so powerful you can't understand like there's more to a woman than just being hot? You guys get what I'm saying? So you got to watch out for that. You really got to watch out for them. And I'm not saying all women are like this, but I'm saying that if they put a lot of effort into their look and they know that they're hot, they get this extra attention from people, you got to be mindful, because they know the treatment that they get from people, and they can use it to just basically treat a guy like dirt. And I met this one woman once, and she would, I don't know, it was contested. Some people thought she was really hot. I thought she was attractive. Okay, she was like basically very, very, very well put together. Very, very well put together. So, but she treated guys as disposable. And the guys were okay with being disposable because she was hot. And it's like she would have no shortage of guys chasing after her because she was hot. And she got a free pass because of that. But here's the thing, okay? Unfortunately, her looks started drying up. And I don't know what happened to her, but last time I spoke to her, she was not in the place that you would expect a hot woman to be, because you know, when you have looks and you treat people a certain way, let's put it this way, when your looks fade, it kind of question like what else is there, you know? You can only get away with that behavior for a certain period of time, and yeah, you see? I think women can age like wine too, but it's all about the maintenance, right? It's all about the maintenance. Like, I think people say like, okay, you know, men will always be like high value, but there's also these guys, and I say this very, very, oh, hold on, you guys, I just stepped on a thing. But there's also guys where they make, you know, they make it out to be like they're basically God's gift to the world. So, for instance, right? Imagine if I'm a guy, right? And I have like a beer belly and I'm, you know, just existing. I can't be all like, oh, by the way, I have more worth than a woman because I'm a guy. And I'm, you know, I know, because it's like that mentality works for certain guys, but it doesn't work for all guys. So, but yeah, so it's not just because you're a male you get a free pass and all males age like fine wine, because I've known a bunch of guys, right? They're not all of them are aging like fine wine. Some of them are actually aging pretty terribly, and yeah, it's not good. Do you consume red pill? I dabble with it. You know. Do I believe in certain things? Yes. Do I disagree with certain things? Yes. I think it really comes down to. Like, you know, when it comes down to women, like, there, of course, women's value women's value is centered around the looks, the personality, right? And personality can pull so far, looks are important as well. But here's the dangerous part. You can be very attractive, you can have the personality, and you can still be cheated on because of your age, you know, and it's really cold. Like I said, there was a person that I used to know, and she was an amazing wife. She was basically the woman that I aspired to be like for years. She was beautiful, she was well dressed, she was charismatic, she was a loving mother, she had everything, you know. She was with her man through thick and thin, but her only flaw was she wasn't in her late 20s anymore. So her husband cheated on her with more than one woman, and these women were just slightly older than her oldest daughter, and it saddened me, you know, but people would say like, oh, well, Erica, maybe she was used up, maybe she was all ugly, or maybe she didn't take care of herself. I can tell you for a fact, this woman looks freaking. That woman looked better than 95% of women in this park, and she was significantly older than me. So, um, that kind of stuff, right? I'm aware of it. So I don't want to just be like, oh, okay, well, when women hit a certain age, they become ugly, and because she was a beautiful woman, gorgeous, and just really what I perceive to be the perfect package in a woman. Just like on all fronts, it's like she xed out everything. She had a loving heart. She really cared for her children. She took care of herself. She always made sure if you saw her out and about, you'd be like, wow, she looks like a celebrity. Um, and she was a really supportive wife, from all accounts that I heard. And but unfortunately, her husband had a thing for women who were significantly younger than her. So she got replaced. But here's the kicker, right? So the guy, her husband, is, from what I hear, chasing after women in their in their 20s. He's living that kind of life where he doesn't want to involve himself with women over a certain age, it seems. But the downside with that is that I see this guy, and he used to look really freaking handsome when he was with the wife, okay? But I see pictures of him, and I'm like, oh, what happened to him? Like, he used to look really good, and he just looks not so great, He's rich. He's a successful businessman. He is the founder of a company, and yeah, so he kind of like, and signs of aging is kicking in too, and he just looks, oh my gosh, he just looks terrible. He looks terrible. So I've seen a picture of now ex-wife, and I saw a picture of him, and I'm like, oh, I can't believe how much this guy has fallen, because he used to be really attractive. He used to look kind of like he used to look like one of those guys that could be in like a James Bond movie. Like a James Bond kind, like very suave, very very good looking. And then I guess time kicked in, and time has not been very forgiving to him. So although he's chasing younger women, it's like his looks just like shriveled up like a raisin. I mean, like, he has a lot of money. I know he has a lot of money, but his looks are gone. So now he comes off, and this is just my opinion based on what I've seen pictures. I think he comes off as like one of those seedy, old, creepy guys. You know what I'm talking about? Those guys who it's like they lead with like a lifestyle, but they're really creepy looking, and they think that they got it with women because of their money, but truly they don't. Yeah, I can't put it in any other better way. So yeah. No, you know what? I mean, being around younger women does not mean you have happiness, okay? Because you think the younger women are really there for you as a genuine person? Like, or do you think they're just with you because, like, if you have a 27-year-old, why is she wasting her time with a guy who's old enough to be your father? See? So that's what I'm trying to get at. And it's like I see him, and I'm just like, man, he used to be so much well put together when the ex-wife was around. They were a really good team. They were a really good team together. At least that's what I always thought, but I was mistaken. But yeah, so because of his actions, his family became fractured. So his ex-wife, the pretty wife who I thought had everything, she actually moved on. She got remarried to a person, and last I heard, she was doing pretty well. But yeah, it's sad because I really thought of the family as just like this great family, And she was really with him through thick and thin. Like this guy, he was trying to be successful, and there came a point where they didn't have money, so they were actually sleeping in a car. So the wife was along his side through thick and thin, and then she trusts him, like, okay, you're gonna lead a company, you're gonna be, you're making it big. And he rewards her by saying, sorry, you're not 27 years old. And yeah, the guy was a total scumbag in my opinion. Yeah. So the kids did suffer. And I feel bad, because it's like the parents split up, and it seemed that they had a good family together, but the only downside was that the wife got old. And yeah, so she was skinny, she was slim, she was kind of like, she worked out, but she wasn't like, she was kind of like the skinny Asians. I want to say more toned than me, but she how would I say this? She was more toned than me. She took care of herself way more than me, and that shit happened to her. And I just felt really bad. She went through a big depression, and I remember I saw her after they got divorced, and my goodness, she just really let herself go for a while. But you know what she did? She got back up. She got back up, you guys. And then she went and got her hair done, and she started taking care of herself again. And she was back to being beautiful. And yeah, I think she's happy with her new guy, and I hope she does have happiness. I don't have anything bad to say about her. I feel for her. So yeah, for women, right? I think women just got to be mindful about certain things. And I'm not saying this is like fear-mongering or anything like that, but I share these kind of stories because at the end of the day, it's a tough world out there. It's a harsh world out there. And yeah, I know making the stream, I know how making the stream can come off of, and I know some people will judge me harshly for the words that I'm saying, but I really think that if you have any sort of shortcoming, you need to tackle it head on. You can't get lost in your head, and just take it, again, step by step, right? What do you have certain thing you want to work at it. You suck at drawing, you think you suck at drawing, keep working at your drawing. You feel like you don't have a good body, or you've been shortchanging yourself all this time, work on it. And again, I don't know what the future has for my body, because I've always kind of had around the same kind of frame, but I've told myself, I said, you know what, Erica, at least try, and even if you fall short, at least you know that you did something towards it versus nothing, you see. So I don't want to let my insecurities get the best of me, but you can see based on the way I'm speaking, based on the way I comment, it just is it's like I just kind of have some fears, but the fears are always going to be in front of me, and I can't do anything about it, right? But the only thing I can do is just work past those fears, and then tell myself, okay, Erica, well, these are your insecurities. What are you doing about it today? What are you planning to do about it? And go and do it. And at the end of the day, when I go back to sleep, in maybe 12 hours or something, I don't know. When I go back to sleep, I can say, well, at least I worked out. At least I tried to tackle an insecurity of mine, and it's all that counts. But again, I just feel for women. I feel for women who are trying to improve themselves, and if they're struggling with certain things, maybe they don't see the goal, or maybe they'll never reach that ideal weight, that society approven weight. Because a lot of what I hear, they'll say like, oh, women should be between like a 2, women should be around a size 4, which is around my size. Oh, women should be, around this weight. which is kind of around my weight. Maybe, you know, add more muscle, that kind of stuff. And it just makes me think, like, yeah, my body could have been completely different if my metabolism was different, or if I ate differently. And I'm just, you know, I feel like not so great about my body, but there are women out there who are struggling even more. And I know they're hearing comments way worse than I hear, for sure. Yeah. So let me see over here. Yeah, exercise is the goal. You know what, Leonardo? I mean, here's the other thing too, right? I know people who exercise, and sometimes, like, you can't even tell they exercise, and it's like their body is toned, but it's not like banging, like, you know, I look like I hit the gym every single day kind of tone, because there's different varieties of tones, right? Different variations of tone. You got like semi-tone, you got super toned, and then you got like bodybuilding magazine toned. And yeah, I told you guys, like, I used to date a guy who did bodybuilding, and oh my goodness, like, the amount of stuff that he had to, you know, the calorie restrictions or the diets he had to go through just to get the body to compete. Holy crap, like, it was freaking neurotic, you guys. Like, he had to like always eat the same freaking kind of meal all the time. And I know people would say, Erica, you're just being negative. No. Here's the thing, right? So he had to be like very neurotic about it. He was down to counting his almonds. And although it's, you know, good to have discipline, I just thought to myself, like, holy crap, that is a lot of work to get to a certain kind of body. And working out every single day, and then, you know, like I said, right, you got to count your macros, you got to count your calories, you got to portion things out, you got to weigh things out. It's like you see the front end of things, and you see it as like, oh, okay, well, you know, so and so has a nice body, that's a great body, but there's so much work on the back end. So when people talk about, like, oh man, I want to be like a guy with a six-pack and things like that, and they're like, I wish I had a six-pack. And sometimes I think to myself, like, do you really want that? Because it's like, yeah, that's a lot of, like, depending on how defined you want to be, that's a lot of freaking meal plans. A lot of meal plans, a lot of regimented, a lot of supplements, a lot of working out. And you can't just go into a restaurant and be like, I'm just going to eat whatever I want, right? Because you want to stick to certain things. Like Hollywood actors, right? Hollywood actors who work out for movie like Avengers. You think they're going to McDonald's eating whatever they want? Hell no, they got a nutritionist, you know, they got a personal trainer, and then they have to stick with it for X amount of time until the movie wraps up, or maybe even after the movie wraps up, because they got to do promotions. So it's not like the person who works out every day and has to stick eating basically chicken, broccoli, sweet potatoes, rice kind of thing is having the greatest time of their life. Some people do, but I just think, like, oh, I tried doing that kind of stuff for a period of my life. Oh my gosh, I was so miserable. I was like, I can't, you guys, I can't, like, only eat like certain things and cut out, like, I can't have any sugar, you know, I can't have any of this. Oh my gosh. So yeah, that's why I practice moderation. I don't practice elimination diets completely, because yeah, I want to live a little. Yeah, so Jim says the worst thing, I stopped exercising, my metabolism could burn up anything I ate. Yeah, I'm gonna try and exercise, you know, more, and maybe you'll see more of these kind of. I think what I'm probably gonna do is I'm probably gonna start the morning off running a little or jogging a little, and then afterwards I'll just do these like freaking you see my legs moving kind of streams. You see? So I know I'm just doing like hamster wheels all over the place, but again, burning a few calories. I don't know how many calories I burned in the last 40 minutes. But yeah, so that is all I wanted to say. I'm gonna go pick up some fruit probably in a bit, some mango or something like that. And yeah, so I'm trying to eat cleaner. Not perfect, but try to eat cleaner. I'm trying to cut out my sugar more and more. I just like tapered it down, right? I'm trying to stay away from like zero sugar drinks. You know, like those Waterloos and things like that. I want to stay away from those artificial sweeteners. I just want to drink tea or water. That's it. Um, and I want to minimize my stuff for processed, but I still eat, you know, some sugary, I'll eat like a little bit of a cookie. I'll have like a little bit of chocolate because I gotta live a little. I'm not going on a super strict diet, but yeah. So I hope by being open with my thoughts and open about the things that I'm doing, maybe it encourages you guys, right? Take a step. And I've always said in my streams, like while I do these streams, I know my background is so freaking boring a lot of the times. Go and do something. You know, you can listen to my streams, you can walk around the park, reading my chat, reading the live replay, you can clean around your house, you can do laundry. And I think maybe in the future, maybe I'll stray away from doing so many microphone streams, and maybe I'll do more streams like this because I can't really do much when I'm sitting in front of a microphone with my head in a fixed position, if you guys get my drift, because of mic technique, you see. But yeah, so that is a thing that I want to do. And again, I wish I did this earlier, but I can't turn back time, right? The only thing I can do is just move forward. And I really hope, and I hope that by me doing these kind of streams and just being open about my thoughts, my thought process, that you guys, if you guys are stuck in a shell, if you guys are having depression, anxiety, body insecurity, you guys take the first step as well, because life is short and you can't make up for lost time. But what you can do is try to turn your life around, turn your ship around, and say, I recognize that I fucked up, you know, from this period of my life. I recognize that I wasted a lot of time, but I want to put an end to it. And I think that I'm gonna look back at my life and I'm gonna say, you know, I had a lot of issues for a long time, but I didn't want it to break me, and I didn't want that to define the rest of my life, you see. So that's why I want to live a different life, and I don't want to, you know, I'm not planning to have like a radical personality change or anything like that, because I told you about women that I consider that are, you know, higher value, higher in the sexual market value. And I don't want to be a bitch. I don't want to be a bitch. I just want to be myself and be in a prettier package. And hold on, I just hit that point. I want to just be in a prettier package, because I think to myself, I say, you know, I went through all this time just feeling so insecure and feeling like I was subpar compared to other women. And it sucks, you know? It really sucks. It really sucks to hear certain comments. It really sucks to hear, you know, things said about a body that I look at it and I think like, you know what, this isn't the best body, but it's not a bad body. But yeah, if you are around people who work out, they could see it and say, you know, you're just giving yourself a free pass because you're blessed with a metabolism, or you're blessed with, or you just do, you know, portion control and things like that. I don't starve myself, okay? If anybody thinks I starve myself, I definitely don't starve myself. It's very documented that I eat. It's just that I'm really not so great at exercise, so my exercise is basically non-existent. See? Yeah. So that is oops, hold on. I got this little pokey thing. Oh my gosh, look at this. I got all these pokey things in my sock. Yeah, I'm in a park. I'm just doing hamster wheels. And in case you're wondering like what the hell happened, that was freaking Clinton over there. Scratching my leg. I think it's gonna scar, but yeah, it's okay. But yeah, whatever you go through in life, you guys, again, you have two choices to make. You either run from your insecurity, or you face you move forward. And I think I made it abundantly clear to you guys what happens when you run away from your insecurities. You lose track of time. You look back at life wishing you did more, and it's not a good feeling. So yeah, 33 to 36 years old, moving forward. I turned 33 last month. I'm really curious to see how it pans out for me, and I think it'll be much better. I think that there will be more insecurities that pop up on the way, and that's completely normal, right? You tackle one insecurity, then you have to tackle another insecurity, then you tackle another insecurity. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of people, it's like they have this vision of themselves, but for whatever reason, whether it be through insecurity, anxiety, depression, fear, cowardice, that kind of stuff, they don't go after whatever they see themselves in their head, and it can really psychologically mess with you, right? Especially when you have failures loop inside of your head over and over, or you hear certain kind of comments, and it just kind of saddens me. So yeah, I went to Hawaii, and I heard comments about my body and things like that, and it didn't make me happy. And then I came back to New York, and I heard comments, and it didn't make me happy. And that's why I just finally want to put a change to it, right? It's like I'm tired of this stuff. And I rather fail spectacularly and actually do something about it than just go through life feeling like that I have all these like criticisms about me not working out. And again, I know how it comes off. People will listen to the stream and be like, Erica, you're magnifying things. You're 120 pounds, you're 5'4", you're a size, 2/4. You're crazy. I'm not, because I'm telling you guys things that I've heard in my life. And I have no reason to lie about that stuff. It's not like I'm making this stuff up. But yeah, I feel like a lot of these insecurities are like rain clouds, and I can't get rid of the rain clouds unless I just face these rain clouds head on, through the rain, through the storm, and things like that. And my hope is that these comments either lessen and I don't hear about it. I don't expect, here's the thing, like some people might be thinking like, oh, okay, so Erica, you want to improve yourself and you want to get a lot of compliments. That's not it. I'm not looking to get compliments. I just want the criticisms to stop. I want it to stop. I want to look back at my life and not have to deal with this whole thing where, oh yeah, Erica just has a body and that's it, but she has nothing. She's so flabby, or she lacks this or she lacks that. It's not good. It's not good. So yeah, if I hear comments like that in the future, I can easily negate it by saying, I exercise. I put myself out there with exercising. It's not like I'm faking this stuff at all. And I'm doing what I can. And if people still want to criticize me for my body, then I can't do anything about it, right? So yeah, So that's where some of my insecurities come in, because I know how my body has been. I know how my body has been, even when I worked out a lot, and it never really changed. And I'm not talking about me just working out for like 2 months and that's it. I'm talking of a longer period of time. I know how my body has been my whole life, and I know when I was the most active and my body was still lean. It wasn't that much different than it is now. It's like a little bit more toned, but it's not like, Beyonce body or anything like that. And I don't see myself getting a Beyonce body. Neither do I want a Beyonce body. See where I'm getting at? Yeah. So let's see over here. I used to work out every day. I used to play Old Glory, a Stefan song, Seal Our Fate. You make a mistake, you can always turn around. We seal our fate with the choices we make. Yeah, if you make a mistake, you can always turn around. As long as your heart is beating, as long as you can take another breath, you know, as long as you have this will to move forward, you can always change your ship around, right? Just because you're fat doesn't mean you're going to be fat forever. Just because you're skinny fat doesn't mean you're going to be skinny fat forever. Just because, you don't have a job doesn't mean you're going to be jobless forever. And I think it's really just down to like, how much do you want to just struggle and fight? Now, here's the thing, right? Again, as someone had mentioned, right, they said that the criticisms will never stop, and I agree. I don't expect the criticisms to stop. I think that there are always going to be people out there who say, oh, look at Erica, she's working out herself. Oh, but she's still a stick. Oh, that's such a shame. She works out, but she's still skinny. Wow, why isn't she like this? Why doesn't she look like that? And it's like, well, what the do you want me to do? And then yeah, it's just like, I can only do what I can. I can't just like tell my body, okay, body, I want you to look good in a week, that kind of thing. Like I said, I don't think my body is unattractive. I think that I can definitely tone up, but one of the things that have been a real point in my life is just like this criticism about not being physically fit. And that's why I'm doing a stream, because I want to be open and transparent about that kind of stuff, right? Physical fitness is important. And if you are toned, then you can starve off the aging process, but it's all up to you about how far you take it, right? You can walk every day, and that would be considered physical fit, but would it really look like I work out even if I walk 2 miles every single day? No, because I used to actually do that. I used to actually do that for about 2 years. Yeah, I'm not bullshitting. I used to walk about 2 miles a day, Monday through Friday for 2 years, and my body did not radically change. It did not. So yeah. So you guys, I'm at 5% battery, so I gotta get going. But it was really nice chatting with you guys. I think I might keep you guys in my streams while I walk, and maybe this is just my thought. Maybe when I do these walking streams, maybe you guys can walk with me too, and maybe you guys can go on your phones and, I don't know, feel like you're not the only one walking. I will run before this, because I don't want to run and carry my phone at the same time, because it'll be like this, that wouldn't be good, right? You wouldn't want this. But yeah, maybe we can all just exercise a little, burn a little bit more calories and instead of just sitting at home streaming, that kind of stuff, not doing anything, you guys can also burn calories with me. So yeah, this has been 54 minutes of walking. Yeah, I love my shoes. So yeah, I hope you guys be healthier, and I hope by me being transparent about my insecurities, you guys face your insecurities as well. And again, my thoughts are just opinions. I can definitely be wrong. I'm not saying that this is the truth, but this is stuff that I notice, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. But remember, you don't quit you don't really have to stop in life unless you quit on yourself. You know, people can always move forward, but the moment you toss in the towel, that's the moment that everything stops. So that's why, if you guys remember, bounce off with drawing, I've always told bounce off, I'm like, you know what, you got to keep going, bounce off. I know you think you suck at drawing, but you're not going to get better at drawing if you stop. And I don't want bounce off to have that kind of insecurity and kind of regret that I did. Because how would my life have been if I did this every single day for the last 10 years instead of having depression and anxiety and insecurity about body image, right? My life could have been radically different, or alternatively, I could have looked the freaking same. So, but at least I can say, like, hey, I ran for 10 years, and, you know, this is my body now, and it's not much, but I can tell you that I ran for 10 years, but who knows? Who knows how that would have been taken? I don't know. Because, yeah, that's all. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna get going, buy some groceries, 5% battery or so, and yeah, see ya.